So, because I had a bunch of time on my hands yesterday night. Hey, where'd you go? Whoops. I was listening to the Stranger Things opening theme song, and I have a theory of how it might end. If I could find the page. Okay. So, this is my theory. I think that 11L may become more powerful than Vecna, of course, and create a third dimension in between the upside down, or and our world or whatever, which will act as a wall, and thus cutting off Vecna, because I mean, of course, she sealed it up and it's still opened up, and then she ended up in, I don't even know what to call it, like her world, the dark or whatever. And I think the dark is gonna be a solidified world that'll look just like Hawkins and all that, and it'll be the place in between, and she'll be like the guardian or something, you know, some sort of like powerful being in that world. However, I do think that Will and Vecna will still be somewhat tied to each other, not in the same way, of course, but they'll always remember each other somehow. And then slowly but surely, and of course, they will all start to forget, not just about Hawkins and the Upside Down, but about what happened, and it'll become a dream to them. And the same way that the Upside Down affects and warps the reality in Hawkins, this new world she creates is going to heal it and get rid of all of the extras and the damage and all that. And she's going to warp reality and make things better in our world, the human world, whatever. And so, as time moves on, they progress, they're going to forget. Oh, and I do think Max and Eddie and, what was her name? Debbie? Brenda? The one that died in season 1. Well, everybody that's died so far is gonna be in this in-between world, and they're all gonna live like happy, you know. And somehow she's gonna be able to bring her friends there too, and it'll be safe, you know. And but back to what I was saying. So they're all gonna move forward in the human world, right? And they're gonna forget. And then something's gonna prompt Mike to say, or something's gonna happen that's gonna be weird and strange. And then Mike is gonna look at it and say, well, stranger things have happened, right? And then we find out that 11 has created a Mike in that world, in her world, and all her friends too, like these exact copies. And he, at the same time that the other Mike has said it, also says the same thing too. And so it creates like a parallel kind of universe. And so it leads to wonder how connected have those two worlds become with each other. My words are just all over the place. But I do think that it opens up some sort of multiverse type thing, because now there's 3 worlds. So if there's 3 worlds, perhaps there could be a 4th one and a 5th one, and you know, that and this. And so Vecna's world will connect with another world on top, and that world will be affected, and maybe it'll trickle down, or you know, it'll splinter out, or you know, maybe it'll fizzle away, and this new world in between shall take over all around and encompass our world. And 11 will be like a supreme deity or something, you know. Ooh, and maybe she creates like a little hint that she's influencing that world, you know, like maybe she'll create like a Monopoly franchise of Egos because, you know, Elle likes Egos. Or she'll create a little totem of the what do they play? Dungeons and Dragons. And it'll be her, or like a representation of her that they've never seen before. But yet slowly like they how do you say it? Not interact, but like, damn, what is the word? Interject? It becomes part of the game itself, when she sort of warps the reality and the mindset of everybody. And so to say maybe 11 might become a bad guy, but we never know. So far she's good, so far she's healing the world, and she's creating her own world with her friends still there. And what else was part of the one page, guys? But I do think that that's mainly what it will be. And so hopefully Max and Eddie, and I think it's Debbie. I don't know where I got Brenda from. I don't know who Brenda is. Oh, and then that one girl who also died in front of Eddie. And those other kids too. Oh, and Billy might come back. I think his name is Billy, right? In the new third world that Elle creates. Maybe. Also, maybe number 8 might be influential to creating that new world because she disappeared, and so did most of the other numbers that were there. So I don't know what really happened on with that. But I do think some other people will die because it's just bound to happen. And I think it could be Will or Mike, one or the other, because Will, really, sorry to say, I don't know what he's doing in that world. I don't know what's going on for him. I mean, not saying that he has nothing going on, but you know. But then if it's Mike, he dies and he goes to the third world where he'll be with the other people, you know. Maybe she'll bring him back or something, you know. Because technically she's trying to do that with Max, right? She's trying to bring her back from her comatose state that she's in right now. Bring her back to her body, but if not, then she could bring her essence or her being back into this third world. And hopefully it all works out. I don't know if there's still... Well, hopefully she'll be able to heal the world of Hawkins. And if not, then integrate. There you go. That's the word I was looking for. Integrate. What was I saying? Interject? Something like that. But she will integrate some of the creatures, because I don't think, I hope that they all get destroyed. If not, then maybe she'll integrate them into the ecosystem or something, you know, and they'll be less harmless or more adaptable and coexisting with the humans of that realm. And I also believe that if not that, then she will somehow strip Vecna of his powers and take them as her own, and then reform the Upside Down to make it right side up and parallel to Hawkins, which then she will heal Hawkins from that world, but she would have to stay in that world instead of going back because it will always exist there. And because I don't think the Mind Flare was something that just was there waiting, you know. I think Vecna created it, right? But still, what if now it has its own mind or its own being and it can still trickle in? So she'd control the flare and she'd control that world and heal it somehow, you know. That or the third dimension theory. But yeah, that's my theory of how it'll end. It's a bit sad, but stranger things have happened. And, you know, I think she'll still be connected to our world. It'll just be on a higher level, you know. But, all because I heard the Stranger Things opening song, and I was like, oh, where's that at? Let's make some theories about that. So yeah,